Welcome, everybody watching. Before I start, I just want to thank you for clicking on this video. By the way, my name is Tristan, and the reason that I created this channel is because, first of all, I felt called to do so, and also because I really love words. I'm a songwriter, and I love the power that words have. On here, we discuss one word on a daily basis and break down the effects of that word. Today's word is aftermath. Did you feel the shock? Okay, I'm just being silly as always. All right, so let's read the definition of aftermath. All right, so it says the consequences or after effects of a significant, unpleasant event. So when I read a definition like this, I got to ask you, what comes to your mind when you hear this word aftermath? I know I think of it as a dynamic word. I mean, a little cringy, pretty much like the definition is described. I mean, I also think of Dr. Dre's record label, Aftermath, which I'm sure was named based off this definition. Pardon me 1 second. All right, there we go. I had almonds in my teeth. All right, so this word gives me a lot of ideas today. Also, I must say, I believe this channel is making me smarter every day, because I'm really digging deep into one word. So it's pretty cool. All right, so back to the word aftermath. So just our mere existence is an aftermath from things before. Not to get too dark, but apparently this word is dark, so don't blame me for that. Just blame today's word. So as children of this world, and I'm referring to all of us humans, even adults, and the elderly, we take on the aftermath of trauma that has been passed on. Let's say I have a son or daughter tomorrow, and I decide to become a Navy SEAL. That will have an effect on my children and my family's lives. And they will face the aftermath of the choices that I made. They will have to deal with having an absentee father, which then could be a distraction for how they interact in school, to their grades, etc. You often hear this word on the news often. You know, when they say a tragedy takes place, they'll say, breaking news as we cover the aftermath of this invasion, or the aftermath of this earthquake, or the aftermath of a famous person's tragic death, and so on. Usually the aftermath has a bigger impact than the actual occurrence. And this is most likely because we finally get time to process what we experienced. The loss, the pain, the destruction. The initial occurrence is usually fear and shock. And the aftermath of the occurrence can be a slow healing process, like the aftermath of September 11th, which I'm sure none of us have forgotten. I'm sure the younger generation might not know about it, but it's still in effect today, the aftermath of what happened. The airport screenings and security drastically changed overnight. There was also an aftermath of the economic crisis back in 2008. Maybe it was 2007. I'm not sure exactly the dates, but that affected the real estate market in the short and long term. And then how can we forget the recent virus that had us locked in our homes for months? To this day, most of us are still facing the aftermath, whether that be our physical health, mental health, our small business that we can no longer afford to keep open, or even our relationships. We would be in denial to claim there is no aftermath from that occurrence. I mean, those were still some extreme examples, but there can be smaller ones too. We can deal with the aftermath of a breakup. Again, the actual breakup can be shocking and disheartening, and then the aftermath is painful, frustrating, and even mournful. I mean, if you had a night out with the boys or a night out with the girls and had one too many, I mean, be ready for the next day. Tomorrow you'll probably have to face the aftermath for all the choices you made. This is known as a hangover. And if you're not one to handle your liquor, you may have made some life-altering decisions that you can't take back, and you'll face the aftermath for that. I'm also going to make a biblical reference here. So back to the Garden of Eden, the Old Testament. I'm sure most of you have heard of Adam and Eve and the story of Eve being tempted by the serpent. And if you haven't, you can find the story in Genesis of the Bible. The temptation by the serpent led Adam to give in, as well as his wife Eve, which then led to human sin, which then led to the aftermath of humanity that we currently live in. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe that story, and I'm not here to get into that. I'm only making an example of how much of an impact that illustration has on our society and the aftermath that has come with it. So just know that our existence is basically the aftermath of past decisions of ourselves and others that came before us. So these are all the points that I rallied up today. That actually concludes today's word. If this video echoed in your spirit, please like the video and become a subscriber to the page, because I really want to continue and do this again. If you have any questions or thoughts, share them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to read them and engage with you. Again, aftermath has been today's word. Like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot. And have a blessed day or night wherever you are. Peace.